Hey you guys, what's up? It is Mossy coming back at you with another LCS video. Today we're going to be talking about the start of the LCS 2021 Summer Split. We have so much to cover today and talk about. I'm super excited for all these games to begin, so let's get into it. So just in case you guys needed a little bit of a reminder in terms of what happened in the Spring Split, I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you. At the end of the Spring Split, we had very close kind of season throughout almost the entirety of the spring split. But in terms of the standings, it ended up in the group stage with Cloud9 finishing first, followed by TSM, followed by Team Liquid, followed by 100 Thieves, Dignitas, Evil Geniuses, Immortals, FlyQuest, CLG, and Golden Guardians. It's really important to note that these first 6 teams, e.g. Dignitas, 100 Thieves, Team Liquid, TSM, Cloud9, these teams were actually very neck and neck throughout almost the entirety of the season. And really Cloud9 kind of made a run towards the end to get their record back and to sort of put themselves into that first place. They had kind of a slow start, if I do say so myself. And then obviously headed into the mid-season showdown or whatever it's called, basically the playoffs for this spring split. We had Cloud9 with the upper bracket run. They 3-0'd 100 Thieves, they 3-1 Team Liquid, and then they 3-2'd Liquid in the grand finals. So Cloud9 were our representative at MSI. And just in case you guys needed a reminder of how MSI went for us, we basically just barely made it out of the group stage. We made it through to the Rumble stage, and we finished in 5th with a 3-7 record. We were able to take series off of, or not series, but games off of some of these teams like Mad Lions and RNG. And I think in the group stage we actually took games off of Damwon Gaming as well. So it's not as if it was all entirely negative, but obviously us not making it through to the knockout round or to the knockout stage, however you want to say it, it was disappointing for NA. With all that aside, though, I think we should just be excited to see the LCS start back up, and I'm excited to see these teams grow. I want to see where the region is able to go in terms of, maybe we're going to be improving, trying to make the region more competitive, all these good things, right? Now, finally, we can move on. We can talk about Summer Split. It's what the video is about. It's what you guys came here for. A really important disclaimer. You guys remember the stuff I was talking about earlier with records, right? If you don't remember, at the start of this season, the LCS said that they're going to be keeping records. They changed the format. And basically, Spring Split matters now because your record carries over. So all this stuff I was talking about, Cloud9 being in first, TSM in second, Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, Dignitas, like that order is still going to be the case. Now, I think that there is room, obviously, for, some of these teams have slight roster changes coming in. I think one of the biggest ones is that Sven is going to be subbed out in Cloud9, which I think took a lot of people, just by shock. So they have King as their new ADC. But there are going to be changes, I'd imagine, in how competitive some of these teams are. So I just want to go through my quick power rankings, basically, before we've seen any of the games or seen how the rosters are meshing together. And I'll try and explain just a little bit, what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking that. We'll start with number 1. I'm actually going to put TL in first. I think Team Liquid obviously didn't look too bad towards the end of last split. It was really unfortunate for them. If you guys remember in the playoffs, they actually were not able to use Santorin. Santorin got super sick. But, they made it all the way to the grand finals and took it to a game 5. I think it was Armeo as their substitute jungler. That dude really put in a lot of work. I mean, granted, he was playing Udyr and stuff, but still was able to compete. And honestly, it was really close with C9. You have to wonder, what if they were a representative at MSI with Santorin? Would things have changed? Would NA have looked better? We've seen Tactical looking good on the international stage. So, something to keep in mind there. Regardless, though, they're going to be in first, and actually the biggest reason why is just because they have more synergy with that roster than C9 will. with their new ADC. So C9 is going to be in second for me. I think the new roster is going to throw them out of whack a little bit, but they just got the MSI experience. Maybe they've learned a couple things. I think Fudge looks super great at the moment. Fudge looks super strong. So we should be able to. I think they'll at least be able to take second. Moving forward, I'm gonna put Dignitas in third, and I'm honestly like from this point forward, it's really just a toss-up, right? 100 Thieves, TSM, EG, Dignitas. Which of these teams is gonna be looking better on each given day? It was funny because you had Dignitas losing matches to EG, and then cleaning up with TSM. Like I think that they beat TSM every single time. The games were wild, but there's a lot of nuance there and a lot of like stuff you're not expecting just to happen just happens because it's NA. And this is why I think that the LCS is one of the most fun regions to watch. Like you just never know what's gonna happen sometimes. Anyways, so yeah, I have Dignitas in third, and the main reason why is because they were looking pretty strong last split. I think that the rookies on their team, they needed some more times in scrims. They needed to maybe practice comms, stuff like that. But I think that, like 3 out of 5 of their players are developing very well. So I'm going to put Dignitas in third, and then TSM in fourth, just because TSM, they looked so great at the end of the season. And then, it's been a little while, so maybe they've lost some of that momentum. Obviously, playoffs TSM is always pretty scary, but I think TSM, Dignitas, EG, like this is kind of a toss-up. Moving onward, my thoughts with EG. EG is basically the definition of the word inconsistent. When they're at their best, they look wonderful. Jizuke's balling out. He's making LCS mid laners look like they're bronze 3 or something. And then, the next moment you look over and he's diving you under your mid tier 1 with a Lucian and dying like 2 times in the same game. I think that was actually the game they played against Dignitas. So, like, sometimes you're just absolutely shocked that these types of plays are happening in the LCS, but again, that's why it's so fun to watch. So yeah, I'm gonna put EG, in that slot, and then 100 Thieves behind them. 100 Thieves really, I feel like they lost so much momentum throughout that last season. So I think there's a very real possibility that they can come into this season and do much better, but they need to kind of get things together. And they need to start playing as a team more. Like, I don't know what really happened. Like, it felt like they just lost so much of their confidence. And I'm pretty sure they ended up taking DeMonte out as well, which felt questionable to me because I didn't really feel like they did much better, without him. So yeah, 100 Thieves, they need to figure things out. One very, very important note on 100 Thieves is that Abadage is actually in their roster now because Someday officially became a North American resident. So again, like they still need time to mesh with the new roster, but theoretically their roster just looks super, super scary with Abadage in the mid lane. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I think I am. But yeah, I know he's, they got him from Schalke. I know he's one of the better kind of EU players, and he should spice things up for them a lot. Moving past 100 Thieves, we got FlyQuest, Immortals, CLG, and Guardians. These bottom 4 teams, it feels like these teams have the potential. Some of these teams have like star players, and they just aren't meshing especially well. You got Jose Diodo and FlyQuest, and I think FlyQuest had a week or two in the previous split where they looked somewhat strong. You had Jose Diodo on things like the Hecarim, and the communication was there. It seemed like things were flowing for them, and then it kind of fell off. So I'd like to see them return to form. Right under them, obviously, I have Immortals. Immortals again doing some really interesting. Like a lot of these bottom teams are just doing kind of interesting roster experiments. And I remember Immortals just have all these rookies, and things actually, I mean, surprisingly worked out. You didn't come in last place. You got some good wins against some of these, like they were like the epitome of like a wild card team. Because some of these like top 2, top 3 teams would just lose to Immortals throughout last split, and it was like, what is happening with this roster? So get your rookies some more experience. Try and do what you can in terms of taking wins here and there. And I think Immortals are on their way to becoming a better roster, but I do still have them, near that bottom 3 area. Other than that, CLG and Golden Guardians, again, it's really a toss-up. CLG doesn't Broxah. Remember, they didn't have him for a majority of that spring split. So maybe Brock's are just hard 1v9s. I mean, he's going to have to put in a lot of work. The roster's looking rough right now, but I don't know. I have some faith that this team is going to get motivated by their results last season and maybe make a run. And then Golden Guardians, I mean, I don't know what to say about Golden Guardians. Golden Guardians is looking pretty dang rough. Maybe they're able to, like I said, maybe they motivate themselves from last split. Maybe they figured some things out in scrims. They've had a lot of time to improve as a team, so I'd like to see them do better, but I still have them in that last spot for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really looking forward to the LCS, and I hope you guys are as well. We'll catch you on the next one.